In this video, we're going to practice rewriting expressions as sums. If we take a look at the first expression, we have 12x to the third power, subtract 5xy, subtract 3xy to the third power. Now normally we associate sums with addition, and this expression has subtraction in it. But we can go ahead and rewrite this as a sum because subtraction is the same thing, basically just means adding the opposite. And so let's go ahead and take this expression and rewrite it as 12x to the third power. And subtracting is equivalent to adding the opposite. So we're going to go ahead and add in the opposite of 5xy. The opposite of 5xy is negative 5xy. Now we're going to add the opposite of a 3xy to the third power. The opposite of 3xy to the third power is a negative 3xy to the third power. And so our expression, which once had subtract in it, now has become, instead of a difference, it has become a sum. Alright, let's practice simplifying expressions by combining like terms. In our first expression, we have 2a to the third power, subtract 5a, subtract 3, subtract a squared, add 12a, subtract a to the third power, add 7. So now we're going to go ahead and look for like terms. Remember, like terms have the same variable factors. So as I look at this first term, my variable factor is a to the third power. Right here I have another variable factor of a to the third power. So to help us kind of visualize, let's rewrite this expression as a sum, and then we'll do our combining. So we have 2a to the third power, add negative 5a, add negative 3, add negative a squared, add 12a, add a negative a cubed, add 7. So now if we look at the a cubed terms, 2a cubed term and a negative a cubed term, when we combine those we get a cubed. Now as we look, we only have one term that has a variable exponent of a variable factor, excuse me, of a squared. So we'll go ahead and write that in as negative a squared. Now we have two terms that have a variable factor of a. So that's a negative 5a and that's a positive 12a. And when we combine those two, we get a positive 7a. And then we look for our like terms. We have negative 3 and a 7. Those are also like terms, and when we combine them we get 4. So there we have our simplified expression. Now let's take a look at this next example. We have 12xy, add 5xy squared, subtract 6xy, add 4xy squared. So again, we're looking to combine like terms. We're looking for the same variable factors. We have a 12xy here. We have subtract 6xy. So 12xy subtract 6xy makes 6xy. This term, 5xy squared, we can combine with 4xy squared. And when we combine those two terms, we get 9xy squared. This part asks, is each expression in simplified form, why or why not? Our first expression, we have a negative in front of our parentheses. Well, just as a reminder, our expression is not in simplest form if we have parentheses. And so what we're going to do is rewrite this without parentheses. The negative in front of the parentheses tells us that we're multiplying by negative 1. Multiplying by negative 1 switches each term in the group to its opposite. The opposite of 5b is negative 5b. And the opposite of a negative 4 is a positive 4. And there we have our simplified expression. Pause the video and try the next one on your own, and then we'll take a look. Okay. Now we have to determine whether or not this next expression is in simplified form. Remember, we're looking for like terms. we have 11x cubed y to the fourth subtract 5x to the fourth y cubed. We have to make sure that we have the same variable factors. If you look carefully, you'll notice that we have x cubed in the first term, we have x to the fourth in the second term. So right off the bat, we can see that we do not have the same variable factor. So since that is true, then we can't combine those two terms. They're not like terms. And so our simplified expression is just the original expression. 11x cubed y to the fourth subtract 5x to the fourth y cubed.